Regardless, I'll
Yes.
go and start, and then you can get things going.
Right.
An antidote for sadness. Oh, I will need to do the change that I was planning on doing earlier, and setting
Please do
the
your best.
options so that the let's see, screen, where would that be? Here we are. Yeah, we'll do fast and auto advance fast. We'll see if that helps people, helps things go a little bit faster, because keeping this going for, several hours of just non-stop dialogue is a little much. Regardless, I believe, yeah, we had the next event coming up, so first we do our level up. Let's see. We had been going with Jupiel, I believe, so let's continue on. Oh yeah, because we have Fright Field, and yeah, we had just gotten light armor. Eventually we'll be wanting to get Quake, because there are some enemies that self-destruct, and it's really, really bad. So you want to be able to knock them back. But I don't think we'll be fighting them quite yet. And for those of you who don't know, yes, Wayne has played ahead quite a bit. So we have an idea that some things are going to be... some things are going to happen, but at least we can promise now, with almost complete conviction, that at least things get... they move faster and there's not quite so much dialogue. Yes, Earthquake is super effective against Voltorb. That is exactly how that goes. I'm probably actually going to sell some of these. I need to use the Sharp Gem. That's what I need to do. Poison isn't actually very useful. And then come to find out, we had taken a look, and yeah, upgrading weapons like this are very, very important. And I don't think I actually... Yeah, I'm probably going to sell the poison and sleep rings, because I just don't need them. And then the store actually stocks randomly. So you have to grab good things if it appears, because you don't know if you'll be getting it back. I scrolled up. That was not what I wanted to do. Oh well. It'll be okay. Let's see. Sealing can be good. I'll keep that. Sleep. Slow is good and haste is good. I'll keep them. But these I'll get rid of. Then I'll keep these because sleeping an entire room is actually also pretty good. Like, generally speaking, if you can, you'll want to keep your gems, whereas your bottles or your pills aren't necessarily as important. Okay. I will put everything else in the storehouse just in case. Alright. Maybe I should try to get down to 10 so I can carry more out. Let's put paralysis away. Let's put sealant away. And then I'll be using the sharp gem, so that's fine. Okay. Ghost of Ghost Dad made a terrible joke and apologized. Apology accepted. Let's see. Let's purchase. I should have enough to purchase these and upgrade with them, so let's do that. Actually, let's make sure that I can do that. That's not it. It's item boost. Alright. We upgrade that. No attack boost, but that's okay. We upgrade Buckler. And we don't have any gems that we can actually boost. But that's okay, we'll get there eventually. Lark had the same thought, but didn't apologize. Well. Let's see. Revive gems are good, just in case. And exits are always nice, because it lets you keep everything that you have. When you leave the dungeon, that is. Okay. So that's those. Alright, with that, I think we're pretty much good to go. Have nothing like that. Nothing like that. And Needlebane is alright, I guess. I do like not being vulnerable to confuse. So, alright, let's do the next event. I will not hit R2, I will not skip through everything.
Oh? Is something the matter, Kamikaze? It's not time for your examination yet.
There we are.
Oh, it's not?
To actually mistake the time by even an hour, you must be an
Hey,
airhead.
Zane.
Even though you came early,
Welcome
I have
to
not finished my
anime.
preparation. Well, you did come all the way here. Relax and take a break. I know. I shall share my instant noodles with you.
Miss Ariel!
What's wrong, Jupi? Not even a knock? What bad manners.
I am terribly sorry, Sir Shin. Might I be able to talk to Miss Ariel alone?
Well, I certainly hope it'll make you feel better, Zane.
I don't mind. It's not like it's any of my business anyway.
Miss Ariel, is it true that Rakiel asked you to make a remedy?
Rakio? Who's that?
Do not act as if you do not know him. Rakiel is Puliel's little brother. He asked you to make a remedy for his sister, did he not?
What? What is she talking about? Puliel is the angel who passed away, right? And her little brother? A remedy?
I have heard that despite the fact that Rakiel, Puliel's brother, asked Miss Ariel to make a remedy, she never bothered to make it. I have come here today to confirm if that is true. So, Miss Ariel, is it true?
At the very least, Zane, by comparison to the problems that everyone else has, your own problems might not seem quite so bad. And exactly right, Lorax. Airhead, coward, definitely vote for Angel Lady because she doesn't call us names.
Oh, that kid who doesn't know how to ask politely? Though I don't remember when, he definitely asked. It wasn't worth researching.
Why did you not make the medicine for him? As long as there was a remedy, Puliel did not have to die. Do you not have any conscience?
Conscience, you say? Dear Jupy, what are you talking about? You're talking to a devil here. It seems you've politely come to blame me after hearing that I abandoned those siblings, but you're barking up the wrong tree.
What do you mean?
Why do you think I'm here? Because you angels abducted me so that I would complete the Fate Awakening Crystal and create God. For the sake of the Fate Awakening Crystal, I was told to do anything to create it. And that is exactly what I've continued to do. It seems you're mistaken, but I am a prisoner, you know. I'm only given the freedom to stroll around Celestia and eat instant noodles.
Yeah, Zane, we had accidentally left the volume a little too high. I've muted it, or I've reduced it a little bit. So let me know if it's any better now.
So tell me, in what part of that do I have the time to research remedies?
However, would it not have been better to at least consider the feelings of those siblings and help them out?
Ah, I see. So that's what you want to say, huh? Feelings? Really? Feelings? Oh.
What is so funny? You must not understand the feelings of others.
Then tell me, have you people ever considered my feelings?
Huh?
Is that your final answer? Concluded. End of inspection. There's nothing more for us to talk about.
Glad to hear that's better now.
What do you intend to take the offensive?
No, she intends to be offensive.
It appears
Oh, yes.
this conversation is useless. No matter what I say, that is fine.
Anger and hatred, yes. But I do like the idea that, you know, Dupiel has completely forgotten that, oh yeah, Ariel has feelings too, and the angels honestly didn't care all that much.
Right.
Oh, Lorax was right. The protagonist is voiced by a former Power Ranger.
Johnny Young Bosch,
Dupiel?
yeah.
Are you here?
Yeah, I think I
Sir Shin?
mentioned him last time.
Yes. Please come in.
Dude has been in everything.
I am terribly sorry for my unsightly display earlier.
Unsightly? No, not at all.
Did you
It's
comment
about
about
that
Sway
thing.
commenting about the...
It's fine if you're
No.
fine with it. But could you
Yes,
please
Sway,
explain it to me?
when I was playing it, I was playing it
Are you
on
talking about
with the
Julio?
Japanese, voices.
Oh, it's fine if you don't want to. How should I put this?
And
I wasn't able to catch what was going on.
You are right.
there are trade-offs, let's
I
put
am
it that way.
sorry. I apologize for behaving selfishly in front of our Lord. When we were children, Puliel and I often played together. To this day, I
Angel
remember
drama.
when we were playing hide and seek in the mansion, and I hid behind a vase. I accidentally tipped it over, and it broke. She told everyone that she was the one who did it, trying to protect me. Because of that, she was nearly responsible for a great debt.
Which, you know, normally you might scoff at a little bit, but especially in times of
are
war
you by
and,
any
you know, a
chance
great object that could be
extremely rich or
irreplaceable.
something?
So it actually kind of shows Puliel was a super good person. And as a result of that, of course, has to die.
Right.
Rich? I was simply born into a certain family that would equate to being nobles in the human world. It was mere happenstance.
So yes, you know, Lorax not
Nobles.
only is
Judging
to
by
be
your
an angel,
sister,
she's also a
I can
princess.
totally see that.
Puliel was my childhood friend. She was 1 year older than me, and she was very lively. When I heard she became ill,
Or an angel cancer.
I could not believe
Angel
it.
toxicosis even.
Was her illness really bad?
Extremely. Though it is not contagious, it is still a malignant disease for which there is no cure.
This actually reminds me
However,
of
we had
back
gone to
in the day
trouble
of the
bringing a
Romantic era,
scientist,
when
Miss
tuberculosis
Ariel
was
from the
considered the
Netherworld.
heavenly
She
disease or
might
the
have been
angelic
able to create
disease.
a remedy.
Because, you know, it was this long, drawn-out
Young
thing, and it
Rockhill
made
must
the,
have hoped
the
for
person
that,
look really
and
pale
went
and
to
drawn
ask
and
Miss
tired.
Ariel.
And, you know, and a little bit angelic.
Royalty climb.
So I'm kind of imagining that
That's
for,
why you
you
were
know,
so
whatever
angry.
angel disease it is.
Right.
What
It's like,
Miss
yeah.
Ariel said
I mean, there's
is
nothing you can do
justified.
about it, but
Her top
there's kind of
priority
that,
is the fate
the
awakening
tragic
crystal.
beauty about it
That
almost.
is the will of
Yeah,
Celestia.
when
But to say it like
And Lorax
that,
says, Angel Princess greater than Devil Doctor.
yeah, when a lot of anime uses
I'm terribly sorry.
TB
I know in
as
my head that I
very
should not
common,
let my
especially in
personal
historical
feelings get in the way.
things. Like I think
But I am still
I know in
inexperienced.
Samurai Showdown, Ukyo had that.
That's
Right.
not true
And,
at all.
yeah, a lot of characters will because it's just it is the it's kind of the generic wasting away disease, but people are still tend to be capable of certain things. You know?
Right.
It's just that there's no cure. It's just that tragic element to it.
And for Japan in particular, there is a, I forgot which historical figure it was. I believe it was actually one of the Shinsengumi. Actually died of tuberculosis.
As a result of our
and it's kind of a
investigations,
famous
we
cultural
have discovered
touchstone
the
to this
location of a
day.
prison
Right.
This
camp
idea
in the
that, you know,
Netherworld.
you have the short and
Our
tragic
mission
but
this
beautiful
time
life.
around
You know,
is to raid that
especially
facility
back then, even
and
now, you
rescue
know,
our
they eat that
captured
up with a spoon.
comrades.
So-
Right.
Shin Kamikaze, I request that you dispatch with us as well. Will you do us this favor?
It's more of an order than doing you a favor.
Kind of
right?
fitting they have an angelic chorus.
You have the freedom
I
to
do love the
interpret it
music
as you
direction in
choose.
this game, especially
Now
for that.
then, for everyone involved, finish your preparations for the operation.
Dismissed.
Sir Shin, it is almost time.
Yeah. So we're charging into the Netherworld this time?
Oh, sure. It's like a -2 penalty to
It
your
is
AC.
going to be all right. You already have actual battle experience. Please have confidence in yourself.
Oh yeah,
The
we're
Netherworld and
battle-scarred
Celestia both use the same defense
battle-scarred
systems for their
veterans of
facilities.
Devils
They
by
are
now.
essentially the same.
Yeah,
as
for
what
commenting
you
on
were
that
used
one,
to.
Zane said, didn't Kenshin die of TB in the anime?
It's the
The
same.
anger of the creator. Possibly. I didn't finish
That
the...
Phantasma thing was very similar to the spirit world.
Or, yeah, Lorax said, you're free to interpret your order any way you want, but we're going to force you to do it.
Since I am
I didn't see the third
I
arc
do
of
not
the
really
anime,
understand
Zane.
them.
After
But
it
I've
went,
been told
like,
the
you
principles
know,
are the
and plus the
same.
second one lasted for freaking ever,
principles of the
as
human
it
mind
was.
Yeah, I thought the
System
idea was
are the
that
same?
Kenshin's Batojutsu was
That's right.
like it used up his life force or
Phantasma,
something
Right.
silly like
the
that.
space system, is
Because
a
it was
space
not supposed to use
converting
by somebody
mechanism that is
pretty
based off of the
influencing
spirit
him.
that governs fate.
But I don't actually remember because
Whoa.
much like Wayne, I didn't actually see the
What the
concluding
heck?
arc.
We're
Right.
still in Celestia. There's something you need to tell me. You should just come and see me in person.
Who cares? Besides, if I show my face in a place where there's a lot of angels, it's obviously gonna
Obviously.
stir up trouble.
See, I actually have some sympathy with her on that because yeah, it might be an excuse, but but the fact that it has been established that basically, you know, all of the angels kind of hate her.
But
It's like
wouldn't
I can
talking to a
sympathize
stereoscopic
with
image
that.
like
Right.
this have the same results if we're around other angels?
Not stereoscopic image, Imagicom. I'm the one who named it.
Anyway,
And it made mad scientist trope number 4. Don't give
Yeah.
my creation silly names.
That's my job.
Don't worry about that. After all, only those who are linked by the Fate Awakening
And
crystal
Zane said, or
can
was that
communicate
leprosy? You're
this
thinking
way.
Darkest Dungeon on that one.
Therefore, only you, who
To be
was
fair, they won't
implanted with the
actually die of
crystal,
leprosy
and
in that
Judy
one.
and I, whose souls are linked to the crystal, can see and hear the Imagicom.
so that means anyone seeing this conversation we're having
I'm
now
just imagining the
I'm
John
talking
Lennon
to
song,
myself,
The Magic
or
Column
maybe
for
a
Imagine.
figment of my imagination.
Yes,
Imagine no
however,
more war.
that shouldn't be a problem.
Magicom, no more war.
Sure it is. I look like a weirdo.
It's no use worrying about what others
I
think
think the
of
dude is
you.
permanently stuck wearing a
Or
school
are you
uniform
saying that you
in
won't
the
be
angel
able to
base. He already looks
maintain
pretty
your
weird.
dignity as
Right.
God?
That said, you know,
not
he has no frills, no ruffles, no silly
That is
hats.
enough
He's so
idle talk.
weird.
Yeah, where are your
Sure.
epaulets,
Please
dude?
prepare yourself for the sortie. Idle talk? That's outrageous. I was trying to explain the defense system to him that he will encounter in the next
That's
war
an awkward
operation.
sentence.
Yeah, it's been 2
Despite
weeks, so if
that,
anybody's
you
forgotten,
certainly strayed off
Phantasma
topic fairly
is where the
quickly.
roguelike
Did you
gameplay actually
not?
takes place. It's this weird kind of meta world where with virtual, it's a Matrix basically.
Although actually, Phantasma is just their defense grid. There are other areas that you fight as well.
Right.
Yes, I believe if we aren't going to the Netherworld, we'll be fighting in Phantasma. I think we actually are going to be fighting in the Netherworld this time.
This is the
Well, the roguelike gameplay always
Yes.
takes place in the
The land of
Phantasma starting
darkness that is
stuff.
home for the devil.
No,
The
like when you go into
world
Double
of
Base or whatnot, that is not
malevolence and
Phantasma.
choking my asthma.
That's just their defense grid.
more normal
If
than I
it's
thought.
not, I think they retcon that it is. Later on.
That may be, but yeah, we are actually in the Netherworld, and they explain that Phantasma is just the defense grid of
Like
Celestia.
magma
Oh.
shooting up from the ground and poisonous atmosphere.
Are you a fool? We would die if we lived in such a place.
Huh? Well, I figured the devils wouldn't die there, cause like they build up.
Because the
immunities.
Batezu
They like
subtype gives them
places like
immunity to
that.
fire.
What kind of preconception is that? Even devils need to breathe and eat food. If possible, we'd like to live somewhere with rich farmland.
Sure.
Like a
You say-
rune factory?
You devils are the ones who
Sure you
are
say
so
that, but
rich,
you devils.
Beautiful lands with blood.
Have you confirmed that history with your very own eyes? Since our histories differ, it's not like we know the truth.
Remember,
Well, who
the
cares? If I
the
give you a
angel who
history
destroys
lecture
its
in a place
soil
like
destroys
this,
itself.
We'll never get started. Let's begin the performance test already.
It is not a performance test. It is a war operation to save our comrades.
This is Mario. Can you hear me, Jupio? Please report your situation over there.
Situation. Shin's still useless.
Jupiter.
Devils
You
and
are
angels still
coming through
bickering.
loud and clear. We have successfully infiltrated the
A
Netherworld.
strategic
We will reach
situation.
the
Okay.
camp soon.
Roger. We will infiltrate from another route. I wish you the best of luck, Jupio.
I wish you the best of luck as well,
Just-
sister.
I don't like the read on that one.
Now then,
It's like, well, I wish you the best
let
of
us
luck as
begin
well,
the
sister.
operation.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, no, she was saying it quietly. You know, she was not saying it for anyone else. Like, I think you read way too much sass in there that Jupiter is capable of. Then again, maybe I just
Yeah.
wasn't expecting the sass, and
They've already established she's in a really bad mood, so.
well, yeah, there is that. All right, so let's go ahead and save, and then let's do some roguelike stuff.
What?
Yes, actual gameplay, and only like 2 different cutscenes. weird.
Yeah, the pace of the game, as far as the ratio of talk to fight, gets a lot shorter, or a lot sharper, I should say. As the say anything in this game is short, but
I don't think you can say that ratios get sharper either. More balanced,
starker, maybe. More extreme, I guess. There's a word there I'm thinking of, and so yeah, like Ben was saying earlier, it's like I've played ahead a little bit of it to, well, most of it, to kind of get one to see the differences in the angel versus devil paths, and to also kind of
I kind of like that barrier.
Kind of avoid any potentially nasty gameplay traps later. It seems like it's very forgiving as far as roguelikes go. It's hard to get yourself in a situation you can't get out of, and if you do, you can always reload, unlike roguelikes.
Right. And yeah, you can go into previous areas too, so if you're in a bad situation, you can't just start grinding up.
Right. That being said, I thought at one point I would basically have to grind, and it turns out you basically, as far as I've been playing, you don't really need to. There are areas that are definitely absurdly hard the first time through, and you have to use a lot of Lock Jagged Gem.
Yeah, that's a improvement item.
Thief enemies, aha.
So if we were really worried about those vacuums, then we could go ahead and just wipe them out with that.
Right. I have not actually gotten that item before.
Yeah, there are a lot of items in this game. I actually kind of like it.
Right. And it feels like...
another Needle Jag Gem. I can upgrade my old one.
Yeah, kind of feels like in Darkest Dungeon, it's like there's a lot of trinkets I've run into playing solo that I haven't seen in our stream. I wonder if they kind of have it seeded so that there are like certain batches of items that are more or less common depending on like how it generates it.
It certainly is. Oh yeah, because I have the anti-confuse thing. Hooray! But yeah, it's certainly possible. Like at the least, it seems true that they change which creatures are floating on.
Right. Nice shot. Great shot.
I'm thinking that I have to be, fairly decently leveled to be able to do so well. So. A wooden sword, hooray!
I bet.
Potion.
There's also, as far as like the gameplay itself goes, in the kind of overall min-max build sense and everything, basically the angel and the devil transformations have their own, like you saw the skill tree earlier, they have their own upgrade paths and everything. And they have the same pattern, and they have roughly the same types of defense, attack, and HP things as filler spots where you're on your way to upgrade, to acquire or upgrade skills. And the angel one is skewed toward offense, the devil one is skewed toward defense.
Which is kind of weird if you think about it. But...
And it kind of makes it so that you want to, you're kind of encouraged to spend more time in angel form, all things being equal, because, you'll not only do you tend to run into more devil enemies and devil bosses, but you'll kill them more quickly.
Why have you come here?
Rakiel?
If you take less damage.
Isn't he?
Yeah, he's the little brother of Julio, the girl
In case
who
you had
died.
forgotten in the previous cutscene.
I heard that he went missing during a sortie last year, but I never expected him to be here.
Sorry. They drafted such a young kid to fight in the war.
War is hell, literally.
Yeah. My big problem with this one, and it is a big problem, is I can tell they're going for like the, World War I is probably one of the last times it happened on a major scale.
Rakiel,
And
I am
so it's
glad
like,
that you are
Germany
safe.
would put
Are
people
you
like as
injured?
young as 13 or 14, listed them as A1, give them
More
a rifle and all that.
importantly, my other
The big
comrades.
reason why, and it's kind of the same thing where you don't have,
I shall
women
unlock this cage.
as characters in historical, military stuff, is that having women fight in wartime is a luxury. because you needed them to make your next generation of soldiers. It is what it is.
I would say it's not a luxury so much as sometimes, a desperate action.
Well, no, I'm saying that, it does at that point. I mean, if you're having that as a normal, like a normal unit or whatever, then yeah, something it's because you can afford to do it.
Right.
And if you're losing the war, then you do it as act as desperation. For the most part, you don't, because you always have to plan ahead to the next war, the next continuation, the next peace, and everything.
This place
it's the same deal with kids. If you kill your kids, you're not going to have your next generation.
And yes, Lorax, more no eyes people.
Please let me help rescue my
So
troops.
on the one hand, you already have the practical, the long view problem with it, but the other one is that it works in with modern day terrorist stuff, the 12-year-olds with kids with guns and grenades.
I say we
like
have
that.
child soldiers going on nowadays.
Yeah, and in World War One. The thing is, though, is that most combat is done in this game in melee combat, and people tend to have superpowers to some degree.
I didn't mean
So
it like that.
it's an even worse idea than
Never mind.
usual.
Even if I
to
talked to Juby about
draft,
it, we'd probably just end up fighting again.
Kids to the war. You're literally
This
throwing
is
lives
Julia.
away for
Please
nothing
come in,
because they can't
sister.
contribute
We
anything.
have discovered one prisoner.
Yeah.
This is Mariel. We
Yes,
too
how
have
can you
rescued
guide
a
us? You
prisoner.
can't see.
Sister,
I will say
according to the
that,
prisoner we found,
that
more
there
of
is
our
kind of the
comrades are being held
counterpoint
captive as well.
that since angels are inherently magical beings
Understood.
and
Then
considering
please
they have
continue
longer
to
lives,
search
it's
for the other
entirely
prisoners.
possible that he isn't a kid,
Roger.
quote unquote.
We will continue
right.
with our
And
mission.
especially when you're dealing with devils or other
Working her
things.
adorable
I mean,
little
even a
sister
child
to the
angel could
bone.
probably do
She
something.
sure is strict.
I mean, obviously, as we've established, the adults don't do much either except die
She
in large
believes
numbers.
that I
Right.
will
But
ultimately accomplish my missions. She
I think it
entrusts
is
them to
reasonable
me.
to assume that if you
Well,
have a kid who's
excuse
basically a
me.
magical battery,
I see.
then they
So
can
it's
probably
a
do at
beautiful
least
sisterly
something.
love.
Well,
Lady Jupiel,
Let's remember
who are you
that.
talking to?
And granted, he's dead. I mean, I can see that. I can see it, even though he can't.
Huh?
Yeah, it's just.
Oh,
I
no
think it
one.
would
I was
mean a
simply
lot
talking
more
to
if
myself.
we could establish one way or the other if the
Lady
angels
Jupiel,
could do
I
something
am sorry for
besides
bringing
die.
this up at
Right.
a time like this, but do you happen to know what my sister's Juliel's condition
It also looks a little
is?
bit like a mushroom, so it's hard to take this seriously.
She is fine. Let us
Ooh,
hurry
Angel
on.
lying.
Sir Shin, please do not reveal anything about Puliel for the time being.
Funny story, that actually is something that's very frequently done, especially nowadays. When you have, say, a special forces team getting ready for an operation, they'll actually keep them completely sequestered with no outside news at all until after the mission is over,
Right.
because you don't want them to be distracted.
Yeah, exactly.
So that is actually something that you see quite frequently.
Yeah, she dead. Yep. Yeah, but can't let the kid know that yet.
There we go. Can't wait until I fight with something besides a Stone Age.
Yeah, you have to trade it in for your bronze knife, right?
Yeah, actually. The joke works both ways.
And make a Star Tropics reference. There'll be a bunch of people trying to figure out what that's about. Oh, I didn't even notice this until Ben pointed it out. But you can see that the angel has a sword they always have, even though it uses the stats of your equipped weapon.
And the
But
devil has that special shield.
Yeah, they have a shield they always have. It's pretty cool. I guess that kind of addresses why the devil form is better defensively, angel form better offensively.
Yeah, that would make sense. I'm glad that you gave me credit for it.
Yeah. Well, I noticed while I was. Alaric said if the kid knew she was dead, maybe he'd go Super Saiyan and wreck some devils.
Maybe.
Not a risk that Angel Princess was willing to take. Pick up all your stuff now. There we go.
Take my apple, take my spear, take my gem.
It is weird how you go through the first couple. This is chapter 3, right? Your first couple,
Yes.
Yeah, you go your first couple dungeons with these terrible, in the same type of pieces of equipment, and then basically after this point, every dungeon will have a new type of item every time.
Hello, Devil Man.
Or I said the No Ice Boy has to go Super Saiyan to make his hair get out of his eyes.
A copper shield.
Yeah, it's funny. I didn't realize this until Lorax, kind of was joking about it. But don't they? I think they do that for everybody. It's like if the character is important, you can see their eyes, and if they're mooks, then then you can't.
Yeah, that's actually a quirk of. I hate to say it this way, but it is kind of an anime or a Japanese storytelling trope. The idea is that the eyes actually determine.
Don't forget your takeout there.
But the eyes actually determine whether somebody, for lack of a better term, actually exists or not. This is why in a lot of romance stories, for example, the main character will actually be drawn in the same way. Like the hair will cover the eyes, or they'll have just like the Megane, glasses that are clouded over so you can't see the eyes.
Right.
It's because it is a kind of narrative shorthand to let you know this person is not actually, a thing. It is a stand-in for you.
Right.
So by having that hairstyle, they're basically all proclaiming, yeah, we really don't matter.
Right.
Which, if I were an angel, I think I would probably, wear my hair up a little bit.
I do think it's cool that the devil enemies, devil men and women. And whatever you do, folks, don't actually Google "devil lady" on. Actually, are using equipment that you can eventually get. Like she had, I think it's called the Yakuza knife, and it's in the next tier of stuff.
Oh, that is really neat.
Also,
this is our first new enemy. I think.
First run in with the phasing type enemies. They only attack in melee, and they tend to be fairly fragile. The trade-off is they can attack through the impassable barriers, or the walls or pits or everything as they fly around, and you can't attack them. The normal rules, even if they are in an invalid square you could normally attack into, you still can't hit them. So you'll have to lure them to a place where you can hit them in order to take them out.
Which sometimes led, when Wayne was doing this, to an actually pretty hilarious dance. Where, he would try to shuffle forward and the guy would run away, and Wayne would run away and the guy would shuffle at him.
Right.
I bet we're going to see that exactly here. Yeah. Actually.
Oh, they're going right for you. I guess the devil ones are probably just more aggressive. Okay, I take it back. He is... I need to look and see what the significance of the monsters with eyes kind of floating around them is. Like what that's based on. Because they're almost always based on some mythological creature, and it reminds me of the ones in Persona that the monster is like a bunch of those floating kind of sinister eyes, and they're actually like over a very like a very strong, big, invisible monster. That pops out when it actually attacks you.
Actually, it's a good question.
Mm-hmm. It's a common enough thing in these games that it's clearly a reference to something. It's just I don't know what it is. You're running into hell of trap tiles here.
Yeah, let's not do that, because basically what slow does... Oh, great. What it does is that it makes you take one action for every 2 the opponents take.
Right.
Which can be absolutely killer.
Right, whereas haste is the opposite. It's like you get 2 turns for every 1 they get. So, 3 more items. 4 more items.
How does that copper sheet? It's +3. It's
Plus
+2.
2.
Right?
Got pluses to it, but... Yeah, and the fact that you can... the game is really kind of... not obvious about this, but you remember we talked about the item boost thing last time, and how that one works is that if those of you don't remember it, you can apply the pluses of a weapon or armor. Heavy jump. Was it 3 things all in one spot?
You just weren't paying attention.
Those are just the latest things you picked up,
right?
You just happen to have 3 things in a row without any combat,
right?
So what I'm saying is I don't think you could stack items. If you try to throw something at a placed item, it will just scoot it along.
Right.
This is the place, Lady Jupiel.
I'll come back to the item boost thing we've done here. We have a different sprite with no eyes.
Hooray!
A sprite picture.
They're all so dead.
Just as I thought. This is definitely strange.
What do you mean?
Despite the fact that they were held prisoner, their clothes look neat, and their complexions look good. It appears
This
they
is just
were
what daycares look like in the netherworld.
Like I
You
said, it's
freaking
just like
racists.
how you're being treated, Ariel.
That's exactly it. I negotiated with the angels for that in exchange for creating the Fate Awakening crystal. So, what kind of deal do you think Raquiel and these other angels negotiated in order to receive such
Dun
treatment?
dun dun.
Ariel, what do you say?
Oh, there's the other shoe dropping right now. Along with Jupiel.
Did she just use an angel taser?
Jupiel!
Don't move! Stay where you are!
Dominiel, you better not hurt that being.
Oh, so they're all dead because we're going to have to kill them. Interesting.
I'm terribly sorry, Lady Jupiel. I never expected you to be the one who came to free us. It seems I have had no luck, even till the very end. I never wanted you to see me in this light. I did not want you to be involved in this.
This is the problem with compressed storytelling. We have to do our child soldier arc and our, and our Stockholm syndrome traitor, arc all together at the same time.
Why, you ask? You do not even understand that. It is all the war's fault. It is the adults' fault for sending children like us
Now, this is
out
the
to
problem
war.
with what Ben was saying earlier. It's like they're pretty
When the
explicit.
battle
These
took a
are
turn
just
for the
kids
worse,
that have been,
the adults
drafted
abandoned
up
us
and sent to
ran
the front
away.
lines, which is a dumb idea
I see.
backwards and
The
forwards.
devils took advantage
Well,
of the pure hearts
Pure
of these
hearts.
children,
Oh,
who
well.
were betrayed by their
What I was
cause
saying
and
wasn't in
used them as a
terms of
trap.
maturity or whatnot, but when we think of kids, we
there.
think people
You
who are
stay put as
actually
well.
completely
If you
powerless.
even
Right.
think
I'm
of
saying that
doing
even
something strange, you
a
are
kid
going to be
angel
sorry.
is going to have more than like a kid human,
Right.
like that.
Raquiel, please stop this. Let us return to Celestia together.
You are well aware of how horrifying the devils are you not? They are extremely strong. The reason you were able to enter the camp so easily was because we were luring you in. The devils
Welp.
intend to massacre all the angels.
Then there is even more reason to.
The devils made a promise. If we betray the angels, they will let us go. That is
And
what
as
they
we've
promised.
established, the devils are completely trustworthy.
What fools! Do they really believe the devils would keep such a promise? Well, they are just kids after all.
I cannot die yet. If I can just see my sister one more time, I would even sell my soul to the devils.
I see. So you do not intend to reform.
Unfortunately for those kids, Jupiel is the main character.
It appears the electric shock
Lorax
that
says, "Cut
child
your hair and
soldier
you can look at her
gave was
corpse all you
almost
want."
enough to incapacitate her for a moment.
You have to keep the angel taser going.
Everyone, return to your prison cells at once. If you do not obey my orders, I shall execute you on the spot.
Lady Jupiel!
Hurry!
And not one of them said, "You're not the boss of me." I am disappointed.
You alright, Jupiel?
Yes, I am fine. That was nothing.
What are you gonna do?
Like I said, to send a bunch of kid traitors back to their cells where they'll surely be executed by the devils. Ain't no thing.
This is Mariel. We have encountered a problem. Please respond.
Sister, this is an emergency. The prisoners here are all traitors.
And that's kind of the problem. It's like, even if they were to bring them back, what would you do?
Child
Right.
soldiers. However, they fell for the devil's tricks.
Also,
They
kind of
planned to spring
interesting as a
trap on us.
point, going back to the child soldiers thing.
We faced
Yeah,
a
one of the
similar
biggest problems with
situation as
them is
well.
that because children
Several of us were
believe
injured
so
during the
deeply and
surprise
so
attack.
easily, even when a child soldier
After
is
interrogating the
apprehended
traitor,
and, you know,
we discovered an
brought
enemy
back into
battalion is going to
civilization,
surround this camp
it can
and
be
plan to
really,
annihilate all of
really
the
hard
angels.
to deprogram them.
Right.
With
Like
our
this is a problem
numbers,
that a lot of
we are
people
no
found
match
with
for them.
ISIS. Even
We
when
must withdraw
someone
immediately.
returns from there,
You must hurry as
it's
well.
it's impossible to even begin to socialize
Regarding
them.
the prisoners we found,
At least using normal means. You have to use
Regarding the
pretty
prisoners that
extraordinary
have been
means in
found,
order to get them,
rescue them if
basically
they are our
rehabilitated.
comrades.
So when you're talking
Execute them
about
if they are
a
traitors.
a war situation like this,
I believe you said
Yeah,
they
what
were all
would you do?
child soldiers. If you do not wish to kill the children, just abandon them. The devils will dispose of them.
What in the world did we come here for?
you were here to save children, then come to find out they were all traitors.
Now then, let us go.
please wait, Lady Jupiel. There are still some angels in the back.
They still have the gall to say something like that after everything they just did?
It is the truth. The adult angels, who did not fall for the devil's threats, are locked in there. Please save them, at least.
What a silly notion. Don't listen to
Get
them.
the feeling we're
There's
having
no
a morality
time, so
choice pretty
just
soon.
return already.
I don't. It would have made sense for
Where
it to
would
be
that
here,
be?
but no. I think it's. You
Somewhere
have to
deeper in
follow,
this
check up on
building.
this, and then you
It
get
is
the
really
choice.
dark because there are no lights, but they are kept there in isolation.
You also get
I
the
shall go
tidbit that we're only
confirm
halfway
this.
through the dungeon. So.
Oh yeah, this
Hey,
is a
Mariel told
Uh-huh.
you to go back.
If there are some comrades that we can still rescue, we must save them, even if it may be risky. Please do not think that I am like
Ouch.
you.
Oh snap!
Sir Shin, please return now. I shall go by myself.
No. I'll go too.
Understood. Then please keep your distance. If something happens, please
Hey,
back
don't
me
tease
up.
me, bro.
There isn't any time. Don't you understand that?